up, everybody? Episode 3 of Binging Batch, Season 1, Episode 3, I will say. It's the Logan and Laura show, as always. Laura, how are you on this?
I am great.
Love
Pumped
to hear
about
that.
this episode.
Is that a Cubs sweatshirt or shirt you are wearing?
Is. I don't know what side anything is. Sure is. Cubs
Wow.
all the way.
Cubs all the way.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Not this year.
I know. just the one time.
R.I.P. to the Braves as well. Shouts to those the fellow Atlanteans or Bravians. I don't know the words.
Yeah.
Few programming notes, of course, before we get into the episode. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts. You can listen on Spotify too. Apple Podcasts is the more important. That is where you can rate and review. I saw some good reviews posted after our last couple episodes. If you leave a fun review, we will read it off. How about that?
Yes, please do.
One of Laura's coworkers left a fun review. Shouts to you. I'm going to read it right now.
Woo! Shouts to you, Carrie.
Shouts to Carrie. Where is it? There it is. Am I subscribed to my own pod? I sure am. You can never have enough Bachelor podcasts. Sincerely, one of Laura's coworkers. Well, shouts to you, girl.
Yes. Thank you for the 5 stars.
No, I didn't see this one. Finally, a Bachelor brand podcast that doesn't annoy me. Oh. So good and highly recommended. Shouts to J10, M30, P90. That's a lot.
It is a lot. Thank you to whoever you are.
It. Thank you to you as well. Leave reviews. We will read them off. Make them funny. Give us some funny Bachelor, maybe Bachelorette themed reviews. Leave us a theme based off of, oh God, my phone fell. Based off of this season. Follow along.
And if you want to continue to tell us that we're not annoying, that's cool too.
Yeah, we love to hear that we're not annoying.
Yeah.
Follow along on Instagram at Binging Batch. There we'll post updates and memes and fun things to get you hyped for each episode. Also, if you would rather watch us communicate, you can so. At Watchdog Media's YouTube page, there's a Binging Batch playlist. The Binging Batch episodes are all in there, so check them out.
So you can see our beautiful faces.
Yes, absolutely. My hair is a mess.
I'm like, I just showered, so my hair is just wet and
wow. So
true professionals over here.
Yeah, we clearly know what we're doing. Laura, let me just say that, and I will say this at the beginning of the episode just to give people fair warning that I will say listener discretion advised. If you are sensitive to heavy, foul language, I'm going to be using quite a bit. I was steaming.
You have a lot of thoughts.
If you follow me on Twitter at LoganLewis96, you will see that I went off on this episode. I don't like to be that guy that's like live tweeting something and just like the play-by-plays, but tonight I watched The Bachelorette alone at this moment. So I don't have people to bounce my opinions off of in the moment. So I just got to, of course, put them on the internet for the world to see.
I'm excited to hear these because I was slacking on watching Twitter throughout this episode tonight. So
I was on it, girl. I've got plenty of notes. Let's go through a quick, again, on this podcast, we don't like to give you a breakdown step by step, but we'll highlight over the big moments. First off, we get our first big group date. We get the love languages group date. Kind of a weird concept. I really didn't see anything get accomplished there.
Nope. I thought it was weird and awkward, and we were trying too hard to make these guys shove their feelings out there immediately. And also, let's not pretend like Claire is Juliet from Romeo and Juliet up in her window.
Yeah, you are not Rapunzel. Like, what's going on here? You are not lowering your hair down for these guys to catch. It feels like to me that these that the love language date was just a way for them to like give the guys an excuse for Claire to feel them up for the physical touch.
Yes,
because that's what the physical touch aspect was literally
what was the gift portion? Like, did they tell these guys to bring something along and like, hey, you're gonna give this away probably if you get picked for the first date, But if not, hopefully you brought something sentimental and you can go run back to your room real quick.
Yeah, like I that whole concept, like they didn't tell them for the date, hey, bring the thing that we told you to bring. But instead it just showed 7 dudes jogging back to their hotel rooms to grab their baseball or signed Babe Ruth cereal box. Like,
or the one guy's like, this is just my favorite t-shirt. Like,
it's like, what are you supposed to bring?
Or the guy with the chess piece, like, now you just have an incomplete chess set forever. And you're just
like, dude, she's thrown that away.
Right.
Unless it works out between you and you're the winner of the show, she's thrown it away.
Just...
So yeah, we get that. And then we get the last whatchamacallit love language, which was quality time. And this is treated just like every other date, group date, whatever. A few guys get to spend the evening with her. Now, this is where the steaming begins.
Steaming started.
So, Laura, let's do a play-by-play here. So she walks in. She says, "I had a good time today."
She says, "Cheers, let's toast."
Cheers, let's toast to great memories and quality time tonight. They all cheers. Yep. And then there's about a 15-second dead, awkward silence.
And then everyone sits around and stares at each other.
Yep.
And no one does anything.
And finally, Dale, I think, is the one, of course, that is just like, well, let's go. And once they get back in the room, Dale... No, I don't think it was Dale.
No. It was Bennett. He's Bennett. Like, okay, I'll be the one to pull you away. Let's go leave this place.
So she gets in the room with Bennett and says, "Does nobody want to spend time with me?"
Yeah. And then she's like, "It just feels like no one wants to hang out with me. Is that true? Do you guys just want to all hang out together?"
Laura, this is where I start steaming. Are you fucking kidding me? You are so... Dude, I was exchanging some DMs with a friend of the program, AG, on Twitter. I think you follow her too.
Yes,
Laura.
yes, I believe so.
Future guest on the pod also. Shouts to her. She said she was going to listen tomorrow's episode specifically because I told her that it's just going to be me steaming the whole time. Right? I said, dude, there's a reason why this girl is single at 39. She's crazy. Like, just from that comment alone, she's crazy, right?
She's the most insecure person, and to be 39 years old and still be not convinced that they're there for you when literally they were cast for you. They are there for you. They were quarantined for you. They were COVID tested how many times? They did all this stuff. They did all this jumping through the hoops. And you're just not convinced that they want to hang out with you?
Like, and Dale is such a kiss ass because just like all the rumors of the fact that they might have had some kind of communication before the season, he's like, "Oh, ever since I met you out of the limo, I've been on cloud 9." Dude, shut up.
Yeah, I'm over the Dale show already, but that's a whole other...
Yeah, judging by the preview for next week, it looks like some shit is finally going to come to surface about Dale and her's relationship thus far. But then I really felt for Yosef or Yusef or however you say his name.
Yosef.
Because he tried to issue a blanket apology to her, saying
he got shot down immediately.
And it gets shot down by Riley, which second steam of the night. Hey Riley, fuck you, dude.
I go back and forth. I'm a little on team Yosef for being like, okay, I'll take this for the group. And I'm also like, Riley, you need to calm the fuck down. Like, it's okay that he wanted to apologize for all of you because no one else was saying anything.
Exactly. And of course he, after the fact, says, "I'm one to man up for my mistakes." Well, why don't you man up in the moment? You just sat there with your twiddling your thumbs, Riley.
Yeah, just waiting for something to happen. And then Yosef being all, well, I guess I'll just take the hit for the whole group and apologize.
Yeah. Riley, my notes here says Riley is a douchebag. Can't wait to see him go. And of course he gets a little security rose.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which just sucks because that dude needs to go.
I mean, the slow dancing pushed him over the edge, obviously.
Obviously. And here's the thing too. I think this was one of my tweets where I said at Logan Lewis 96, by the way, if you didn't hear it the first 6 times I mentioned it. I said that Riley is the dude in high school that talks about being on the football team, but was really just the water boy.
Yes.
Like,
yep. I get that. I feel that vibe.
Total douchebag vibe. Like, no one speaks for me. I speak for myself.
Yeah, there is Yosef, me and you. We're not a team.
Yeah, Yosef continuously was like, dude, I'm not trying to speak for you. I was trying to give apologize. And he was like, I don't think you understand. And I was screaming at my TV, you fucking douchebag.
Get off his dick.
Get off your high horse. And God damn it. I kept tweeting shit like somebody get me Riley Zat. I'm going to fight this guy and I'm going to get my ass kicked, but I can't wait to fight this guy.
Let's take it outside.
Let's take it outside. Riley, if you ever hear this, fucking find me, dude. You're a douchebag. Moving on.
I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm kind of like, Claire, this is all your fucking fault, though. If you could have just been not a whiny ass bitch and made moves and been like, oh, what a great date, and then let them come to you, or be assertive like you keep thinking you are and maybe grab someone you want to talk to.
Yeah, she says that she's there and she's not afraid to make decisions. So why doesn't she just grab the guy she wants?
Right.
She says it 6 times
because she didn't want to pull Dale another 7 times. She was trying to give someone else a chance.
She knows what she wants because she says it every 30 seconds.
Yes.
So why don't you grab what you want and go talk to them?
Right, exactly.
So then a second major event, we get the one-on-one date with Jason where it kind of gets deep for a minute.
The whole thing, that was my other thought. It was all too deep, too fast. And I know that's the point because they're supposed to lay their whole souls out there for them to judge immediately. But it was too much, too fast. And also, Jason, did you murder someone? Because I was like, what are these deep, dark demons that you have hiding that you can't talk about?
Yeah. Jason, were you low-key canceled?
Right.
Did cancel culture come after you for something? Do you have misconduct allegations against you? What's going on with Jason?
What are your court records? What are we talking about?
Can somebody pull up Jason's criminal record? I know somebody out there has a police database.
Yeah. For sure.
Well,
then he finally got to it when it was family stuff. And I'm like, you're telling me that you're talking about these hardened secrets like it's some big controversy, but really your parents were crappy to each other and you had troubles growing up and they should have divorced?
That doesn't make you special, Jason. As mean as that sounds, 50% of marriages end in divorce. You're not special.
Also, you're on The Bachelorette. Do you know what percentage of those last? It's very small.
Yes, exactly. So Jason, and his acting was just horrible when he decided to start fake crying.
I mean, I was surprised that Claire hadn't cried earlier in the date. She was crying when they were doing the affirmations, the spoken word bit about how much she appreciated them. But when she was reading the letter to herself, she was hardly shedding a tear.
Exactly. It just seems like the producers paused filming hey, Jason, fake cry for a minute. It'll add to it that your parents have an ugly marriage.
Right. I was like, maybe he's going to reveal that they were physically abusive to each other, but then it just kind of kept going to nowhere. And not that I wanted there to be some big tragedy, but I was like, that's it? They should have got divorced?
Yeah, you know who else should get divorced? Half of America's relationships. Right. So then he gets the rose, and of course, because they had a deep, unscripted, deep moment with each other, and Claire whips out the dress.
The fucking dress. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And then Jason's like, it's ugly. And I was like, ooh, okay, Jason.
If you excuse everything we just said about how fake that date seemed, you have to agree with us. The fact that she just pulls out the dress.
Right.
She's fucking Harry Houdini pulling a magic rabbit out of a hat.
Well, and again, was this something that it was pre-planned before the season. Like the producers were like, hey, we're going to use that dress. I hope you still have it. Please pack it.
And if not, he definitely went and bought it, or ABC went and found it and bought it again.
Yeah, or they bought a fake one somewhere. And
or they just got a pillowcase that was really big and they decorated it to look like
they added the little belt and they were like, this is the dress.
And they burned it. Like she just threw it into a fire because she's willing to move on from that part in her life.
First of all, that's bullshit because Claire, you were engaged before this. Like after Juan Pablo, before this, you were engaged. You should have burned that shit a long time ago.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes. Like she has had, how long has it been? This journey started 6 years ago. Should have burnt that dress probably the instant you got home from the Juan Pablo season.
Yeah.
He was garbage.
Why did you keep that dress?
To remind you of your assertiveness and how you put that man in his place.
I also let me just say this, and maybe I didn't watch Juan Pablo's season. I don't know truly all the details, so I'm probably going to speak here out of line.
You're going to pull a Yosef?
I'm going to pull a Yosef. Let's correct me if I'm wrong, Laura. So Juan Pablo probably did some deceitful shit to her. So she said, I don't deserve that. So I'm going to leave or whatever.
Yes. And he basically was like, I'm not picking you. And then she was like, good. And then went off about why he was a terrible person.
So why is she walking around like she is the one who dumped him?
I don't know.
She's walking around on this high horse. Part of this episode's got to be called High Horses.
Finally, yeah,
like there's no reason for her to be walking around like she's the shit when Juan Pablo was like, I'm not picking you.
Yeah,
why are you walking around like your shit doesn't stink? It was Juan Pablo's decision, not yours. If Juan Pablo wouldn't have rejected you, you might still be with Juan Pablo.
Right.
Like, shut up.
Especially with her self-esteem as low as it apparently was at that time.
Yeah, she might not be on a high horse with that low self-esteem. She's probably just riding a donkey.
Right.
That was a horrible joke. So then we get group date number 2, which is strip dodgeball, which
Claire's just the horniest motherfucker out there. She is like, finally, quarantine. I'm out of it. Now is my time. I want to see dicks in my face. Let's do it.
There was too many balls puns too. I did chuckle when the blue team did like their little team huddle and they said like blue balls. I was like, ha, that's clever. I like it. Yeah. But let's also
think Chris Harrison. That's what we really need to think about.
I tweeted this too. Chris Harrison does not get paid enough.
No.
He probably gets paid millions of dollars, but this man has think of all the shit
deals with
Chris
a lot.
Harrison has to put up with during the filming.
He's like, I quarantined for this to have swinging dicks in my face.
Dude, I love how the one dude, like when they lost, was just like, fuck it. And he just dropped his
like,
pants.
Let's go. You want to see it? Here's what I got.
And I also respected his move by going up to her and just hugging her. Like he was the first guy to run up and be like,
he's like, hey, I'm naked. This is what you wanted.
Yeah. Here's a hug goodbye.
Here's a hug.
Have a look at my schlong.
Here's my sweaty ball sack touching your body.
Yeah. So that's the other part. These guys just played probably a 15 to 30-minute game of dodgeball.
Well, did you see how sweaty they were in the warm-up activity before they even knew it was strip dodgeball? I was like, get this man a towel. He's dripping. Yeah, so she willingly was just like, yeah, I'm going to go up and hug all of these sweaty dudes that just played dodgeball. It's the quarantine effect.
It makes very little sense.
She just was horny and wanted naked men.
Yeah, that's that. So then we get quality time number 2. I'm just calling it, which is with the winners of the dodgeball game. The losers had to do the walk of shame back. The naked
walk of shame.
The naked walk of shame back to their apartments.
I mean, I appreciated all the other guys who were back at their rooms. Their reaction. They're like, "What are you doing? Go call the cleaners. Don't sit on that couch."
Yeah. Can we de-quarantine again?
Right.
Here's the other thing. If COVID is, so many thoughts just came into my head at the same time. ABC is owned by none other than Walt Disney.
Correct.
How did this slide? This is a family network.
Again, I'm going to bring it full circle to COVID. Desperate times. There's nothing new on TV. Sex sells. The end.
You're not wrong. That's actually that's probably it.
They were like, not only does Claire need these naked men, everyone in America needs to see some naked men. I mean, I didn't hate it. Did I think it was too much and Claire was just too horny? Yes, but
it is what it is. We get quality time too. Easy gets the first little one-on-one session. He goes for the feet rub. Not a bad move. I kind of respect it.
I mean, I don't love the move, but
I'm
the
not
intent
a feet
I
guy.
appreciate. Yes, that's what I was going to say.
I would not have reached for those bony ass
Nope.
80-year-old feet, but but then comes Blake with his balls. And
Blake also on his high horse.
Here's the thing. I don't hate this move as much as I should. However, I do think one of the guys called him a sore loser.
Yes.
And I think that's appropriate.
Yes. And I think the problem with Blake is, besides the fact, I mean, I love him and he's super hot, so he can do no wrong, is that he got away with quote unquote bad behavior last week. So now he's like, she likes bad behavior. I can just do whatever I want.
Wait, what did he do last week?
He was the one that slid into the DMs before the show started.
Ooh.
So then she was like, oh, thank you. Cry, kiss.
Oh, that's right.
And now he's like, okay, I see what we're doing here.
Yeah. So he goes in there, kind of cucks the one dude, and then that one dude runs back and is casually just like, oh yeah, Blake just showed up.
Yes. Jay, that was his name. I had to go back and look. I was like, this guy made no impression on me. Who are you?
What, the guy that Blake?
The guy that got interrupted. Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, Jay. I can't hold up. Before we continue with Jay, how did we not acknowledge the fact that Brendan got cucked by Dale way back at sorry, not Brendan, Bennett. She had the one-on-one time with Bennett, and then
and then that was when she was like, I'm sorry, I have to go tell everyone off because I'm very self-indulgent. She
Bennett just got robbed.
Yeah. Even though he tried to do the right thing, shockingly. He tried to grab her first, be the hero she needed, and then it got nowhere.
This is where I always have said my entire life, ladies and gentlemen, nice guys finish last. Of course she's going to go back to all the douchebags that didn't get up and take advantage of that time. But anyway, fast forward back to Jay.
Well, that's why she's back to Blake, though, because he's a bad boy. He doesn't follow the rules.
Yeah. So in the moment, oh my God, dude, I completely forgot. In the moment, Blake tries to kiss her. And she just straight up pushes him back.
She's like, ee.
If you watched that with me in my room when that went down, there was an audible, oh my God. It was almost like, what's his name? John Travolta. Oh my God. And that killed me. The guys basically killed Blake with their stares, kind of just like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You're a sore loser. Goodbye. And Blake probably at that point was like, I'm getting kicked off the show. Like,
right. He's
it's
like,
over for me.
Why did I do this?
So then she pulls in Brandon, which
I did not notice this last time. Do you think he looks like the poor man's Neve from Catfish?
I would say he also looks like the poor man's Superman.
Ooh, okay. Mm-hmm.
He looks like Henry Cavill's jawline and everything. So
yes.
Here's the thing. This is where I steam again. Claire asks this man why he's on the show. And he says, and I quote, A, you're just so beautiful. And B, I'm trying to find love. And
which are the only two qualifications one should have to be on this show.
Correct. So then she proceeds to roast this man into a corner and say, "That's it? You don't know anything about me?" And he was like, "That's kind of why I came on the show, to know more about you and try to fall in love with you and start a family, blah, blah, blah." And she came at this dude's neck. Am I wrong, Laura, for thinking that she was out of line?
All over the place. I was like, no one knows much about you except for the 3 things you keep telling us over and over again, that you're a strong, assertive woman, you're 39, and you're ready for love. Like, that's all we actually know about you, Claire.
Yeah, like half the time when people apply to be on The Bachelorette, it's when the ads come up that say, "We're looking for people to date our next Bachelorette." That's before you're announced. Before,
right, they have no idea.
Yeah, Claire, you ain't... Claire, if you're listening to this, you ain't special.
Right.
You're not. You're not special. Maybe you're special because you're 39 and alone.
And maybe that could be a good thing, that he knows nothing about you.
Yeah.
Like you weren't one of the other 30 guys that knew everything about your tragic past. And here's this fresh face who's like, "Hey, I think you're hot. Can we maybe talk?" And she's like, "No, thank you."
Yeah, so she sends him home. Yeah, he probably could have not backed himself into a corner by saying, "You're beautiful,"
like,
twice. He said, "You're beautiful," twice, and that's what I think really set in stone the fact that she's like, "Oh, he's a fuckboy."
But also, that's how dating in the real world works. You say, "Ooh, look how attractive that person is," and that's all you know about them a lot of times.
Yeah, like, hey, there's a person I'm attracted to. I'm going to try to pursue them. Right. And then you can't get mad when
you say, "I just think you're hot. Can we learn more about each other?"
It's stupid. It's stupid, Laura. So she sends Brandon home.
Which, I mean, I was a little like, good, just because then Brandon didn't have to go through the whole charade of everything else and her not caring about him when she clearly only cares about Dale. So I was like, maybe that's good for you, Brandon. Maybe you just needed this. Yeah, you didn't have to be done as dirty, but you could be done.
Maybe he got out at a good time, because then she gives the safety rose to Chase, who got like no screen time.
And then Chasen's like, "Do you see my arm? Do you see all these goosebumps?" And I'm like, "Chasen, how old are you?" Like, I forget, but also you're a child. Like, are we back in college and this is your first real date? You have goosebumps.
Like, dude, again, you ain't special. I immediately, as soon as she gives the rose to him, I was like, what about your boy Easy that gave you a fucking foot massage?
That's what I was going to say. Easy, no love in this episode for Easy.
And
he was the only one who was shocked at the idea of the strip dodgeball. Easy was like, "Ooh, are we sure about this? Like, no one else has any qualms about doing this?"
So that happens to Easy, poor boy. And then we get the rose ceremony, but not really, because they cucked us. And I guess that's going to be the first event of next week's episode. But so Claire pulls Blake aside at the beginning of the night and says, "Hey, I respect the hell out of what you did, even though the guys will probably hate you for the rest of your existence on this show. Here's a rose."
Which I was shocked. I mean, I didn't think she was going to send him home, but I was shocked that she just flat out rubbed it in their faces, gave him a rose, and then he walked back all like, "Look what's on my chest."
Yeah, like, I kind of wish she just said, "Hey, if I give you this, the guys in the other room are going to hate you and hate me. So why don't you just put it in your pocket, and during the roast ceremony, I'll pick you and the guys don't have to know." No, right. She put it right smack dab in the center of his chest, and had to walk in there with the new kid in the middle of the school year.
Right.
Like,
has the sticker that says he's new, and everyone is like, "Oh God, this weirdo."
Yeah.
They're like, that's who we avoid.
And what's his name? I think it was Easy that just straight up laughed when he walked in.
Easy was flat out like, "No, what are we doing here?"
Yep. And then one of the guys said, "I think we have to take it upon ourselves now to realize that the rules are bullshit."
Yeah.
That Claire is entertaining bullshit. Very similar to Pilot Pete. I'm drawing a lot of comparisons tonight to Pilot Pete.
Yes.
Claire is into the bullshit, guys.
She loves the bullshit because she's finally, quote unquote, in charge, and she can do it her way because she's a strong, independent woman.
And then she finally pulls aside, you guessed it, Dale. And
I love that she, even in her voiceover, was like, first and foremost, Dale. And I'm like, we all fucking know, bitch. Like, can you not talk to anyone else? Because there's still like 12 dudes who I don't think you've even talked to.
How, if you're one of those dudes, how do you feel? If
you feel like shit.
If I'm a week in and she hasn't talked to me, I'm just going up to her straight up. And I think this happened in Pete's season. I could be wrong, where Peter just never spent any time with like a girl or two. And they were just like, see ya. I mean, you haven't.
I think that happened for sure with one of them. I don't remember who, but I think somebody finally was just like, this isn't going anywhere. So I'm going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, what? Huh? I know they did that a lot and Listen to Your Heart. Like if there was a person in the show that nothing was happening, they were just like, I guess I'm just gonna go. Like, you kept me around the first roast ceremony for a reason. Like, are you gonna explore that, or are you just gonna keep running around with the dudes you were DMing before the show kicked off?
Right.
So she basically pulls Dale aside so she can make out with him for 20 minutes. And then it cuts away. And that's the end of the episode.
Back to the blindfold thing, when Dale was like, I'm going to do something different in his first encounter with the blindfold. And all the guys were like, this is awkward AF, and I hate it.
Yeah. Like and then he throws it on again, and they make out behind a tree.
Also, we didn't need the blindfold again. Like, what was the point? This is just a show for no one. Like...
God, stop. What is with this bullshit? Dude, I was going off. If you want a good read, just go back and look at my tweets from last night. When you're hearing it, it's last night, but you know.
Take a journey back through Logan's mind.
If you didn't watch the episode, you can get a pretty fair understanding about what's going on in the show if you read my tweets at Logan Lewis 96. So that's our episode. Laura, do you have your winner and loser of the week? There are a lot of losers this week. It's really tough for me to pick one, but
your
I'll throw it to you first. Who you got as your loser?
Well, I don't know. The loser in my heart is Blake because he just, his bad behavior was rewarded, but Blake, I thought you were better than this. I also did not think you were this much of a psycho, and you are proving me wrong in that regard. And just be a loser for a minute. It's okay. You'll still get a chance. I mean, probably not because Dale, but you don't know that yet.
I want to say that my loser is, I really hated how she cucked Brandon. I really hate how she just came in here and backed him into a corner and asked him a bunch of bullshit. Like, what do you expect to hear, Claire, in that situation? My loser of the week is Brandon, and I think technically he is the loser of the week. Right. He got sent home.
He had no chance. He was like, I'm sorry, I think you're pretty. And she said, that's not good enough. Goodbye.
I forget who tweeted it, but somebody said that Claire's the girl at the party who gets mad at you if you're wearing the same shirt as she is.
Oh yeah, for sure. If it's not all about her, then it's not going to work out.
Yeah. I said this too. Claire is so good about, it was back when Jason was opening up to her about how in high school he was a loser, he was bullied or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she said, yeah, that sucks. I was a loser in high school. I never got asked to prom. I was like,
I didn't even go to prom. Yeah.
You are asking him to open up to you. And while he's mid-tears, you're saying you are turning it around and making it about you.
And
bitch.
Are we really shocked based on any of her behavior that no one wanted to hang out with Claire in high school? Picture this needy girl times a million because she was a teenager. And
I want somebody to fact check this, please. If Claire went to prom, didn't go to prom senior year of high school.
Maybe she was an ugly duckling in high school.
Maybe she was.
She flourished afterwards. But the crazy was obviously still there, so that's why you didn't go to prom, Claire.
What do you think about your winner? Who do you think really just kind of killed it this week? And I mean, obviously, I want to say anybody but Dale.
Right, I would say Dale's just the obvious. Well, I mean, I'm proud of Jason for opening up so much on his 101 date.
Yep, that's a fair statement.
But again, what demons do you have in your closet that you needed to be so dramatic so much of the time? But I mean, she ate it up. So I mean, I feel like they both had a little freeing moment. They bonded over their terrible pasts. He got the rose. It's not a confident he's a winner, but no. I think to her, he's the winner.
In my eyes here, I don't think there's any real winners of this episode, except for maybe Jason. I think I might go with that one as well.
Yeah.
I mean, or Blake even, like.
Or I was going to say maybe Chasen, because he's not been involved with the drama and he just lucked out by getting a rose.
Well, there are clear losers this week. There is not one clear winner, obviously.
Yeah, because, I mean, Dale is always the winner, so I feel like he doesn't get to be the winner when we talk about the episode.
Yeah, I'm not ever going to give Dale the winner award. Mark my words.
You know who the actual winner is? Bennett and his sweet ass room at the hotel that apparently all the dudes are envious of.
You know who's probably gonna Bennett probably, after he realized Claire wasn't coming back, he probably just got on LinkedIn and looked for new jobs.
He like made himself a martini, whipped out a face mask again, and it's like, well, I'll be here with my 37 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, there's so much weird shit in this episode, man. Like, there's just too much to even talk about. Like,
just everyone. Also, can we go back real quick and talk about Kenny and the dodgeball game and how excited he was about it? I was like,
I am
Kenny,
so psyched to be playing dodgeball.
Well, I'm like, Kenny, is this because you were the weird music nerdy kid in high school? So when you actually played dodgeball, you were bad at it and you just finally went to the gym after you graduated and got tattoos. So now you actually have a chance?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Just way too excited about throwing balls at grown men.
If you were to name this episode, Laura, what would you name this? If you were to summarize this into 2 words or 2 phrases,
Two
what are
words.
you going? My we can agree on, that'd be kind of fun to agree on the episode title live during the recording.
Yeah. Well, when you brought up high horses, I would say high horses and blue balls, or low balls.
Hey, I think I could do high horses and blue balls, because I also right now have high horses written down. High horses and blue balls.
I think
that's it. Unless I was going to think of high horses and burnt dresses.
I was going to say burnt dresses is my other one. Like,
oh man, I wish
yelling at the mountains and burning dresses.
Oh boy.
Also, what are the tiles that they wrote all their things on? What they were like, here are these random tiles that you just get to chuck at a mountain now. Write everything that anyone has ever said bad about you. I was like, Jason and his traumatic life do not need to also go through this exercise. He has bigger skeletons in his closet than someone telling him that he's selfish.
Jesus. Laura, do you have other awards you want to give out this week, or
well, I was trying to do my best and worst dress, but I feel like it was tricky for some reason on this episode. But I did have one clear best dress was Easy. He brought it both times at the cocktail party and, well, after they won for the dodgeball, and then at the cocktail party too. He knew it was up.
I saw this. I saw similar vibes. I get really good dressed vibes from Bennett as well.
Yes, agreed. I did have concerns that both Bennett and Jason pulled the white V-neck tee just under a button-up for their date looks, and I'm like, what kind of casual bullshit is this? Like, you guys just look like you're lounging around the house, not trying to go on a date.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it.
I was like, I know we're not really going anywhere fancy, but we could try harder.
Yeah. So
Does
try a little
anyone
harder,
get
guys.
your rose overall?
Man, if I were to save somebody overall, let me look at that list of the guys. I think I'm gonna give my, again, not really a clear winner this week. If I'm gonna give my rose to anybody, you know what? I'm giving my rose to Chris Harrison for having to see swinging dicks.
Swinging dicks and Kenny's tan ass. As Claire's like, do you see that? Look over there. He's like,
Yeah,
I'd rather
I know.
not.
I love how she was like, he's so tan, and Chris was like, yep.
Sure is. Great.
Sure is.
Chris is like, why did I agree to this season?
Yeah. What do you think? Who's your show stealer of the night?
I mean, I do like the Chris Harrison idea. I think not that he's really a show stealer, but I think mine goes to Chasen because I feel like he just slid under the radar. And then it was like, surprise, you guys have barely talked ever, but here's a token rose to keep you on the show. And I just like how surprised he was about it and his naive charm, douchebag charm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I thought the same thing. I was like, who is this Jason guy, and why all of a sudden is he getting a rose for being so amazing? And when he didn't get any screen time, it was like Evie, Brandon, and then she gives the rose to Chasen. Right.
How do we feel about Yosef and his disapproving of the strip dodgeball? Personally, I think he sounds like a psycho, but we knew that from last week.
I'm really glad you brought that up because, again, I'm sick of hearing I think that's so disrespectful to me and my daughter. Like, dude, we get it. You've got a daughter.
And also, you were sliding into DMs before.
Yeah, and we had to get, what's his name, Taylor or whatever the fuck his name was, to go home because he was trying to do the right thing and tattle on you.
Tyler.
Tyler.
Well, yeah, and I'm like, also, you were really gonna be so manly that you would have turned it down. You would have said, "No, I'm not stripping. Sorry, Claire, it's beneath me."
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me feels like you're under contract to do what she says.
And part of me feels like Yosef would do anything to win, so he's probably just gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, another high horse. Just get off your high horse. And
Yosef can do no wrong in his own mind. Sliding into DMs, he's better than strip dodgeball.
I cannot wait to see him stand up to her because in the teaser for next week, you see that he kind of tells her off and says, like, listen,
she's got to be done with him at that point. I feel like surely 2 weeks in a row, basically, that he's been part of some kind of drama and trouble, and especially him calling her out when it's the Clare show.
Yeah, no, I expect to see no more of that man.
And his scary, frightening eyebrows.
He does have some creepy eyebrows, man.
What is that like on Toy Story? His angry eyes? That's what he has all the time.
That's so true. That's so true. He's got angry eyes. Yeah, to see it.
Yosef,
sorry, Yosef.
Yosef, you're not attractive enough to be causing all this drama.
Yeah.
Like, if you were hotter, we could let it slide, but we just can't.
Yosef, get hotter and then you can stir trouble.
Everyone knows that. The hotter you are, there's like the hot crazy scale, same thing.
Yep.
The hot psycho scale for dudes.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll probably get eliminated. If you want to guess 3 guys that get eliminated next week, based off of what we know now, what 3 guys are you going with?
Well, I feel like there's going to be like 2 of them that I don't even remember their names because we just didn't get any screen time. Like, yeah, I'm like, who all's left? I don't know. I mean, do you think Jay will make it through even though his date got interrupted, or will she forget about him and be like, sorry, Jay, you're out?
I like.
Or maybe she saves him.
I like to think that he gets eliminated. I I don't know. I really hope Riley goes, but she gave him a safety roast, so I know
Right. He's not.
he's not getting saved.
Do you think any of those guys are going to be part of the walkout, the rumored walkout that might happen?
I'm super excited to see if that goes down.
Because, I mean, I would love to see it, but I feel like it's a cleverly twisted producer move, and no one's actually going to do anything.
Yeah, like, hey, let's get a bunch of you guys to walk in a row, so it looks like you guys are.
When we film it, it just looks like a line of you leaving.
Yeah, really though. I don't know.
I mean, maybe if Yosef leaves the charge, though, we know Riley's not going with him because they are not together.
There is no me in you. Let's get that out of the way.
He's like, there is no I in team. We cannot. He's doing his little cheer.
Yeah, Riley, you need to go, bro.
He's just too intense. Like, I don't know. Maybe Claire needs that, though, because she is supposedly so assertive. She needs an equally assertive man who has balls.
Well, at this point, whatever Claire needs, it's probably going to cause me to steam again next week. Laura, do you have any closing thoughts on this week's episode?
It was too emotional. It was too not drama-filled in the right ways. I just did not need all of the almost therapy sessions. Like, I come to the Bachelorette for trash. And I mean, as much as I like men crying, I don't want them crying about real topics.
Yeah, I want them crying because one guy got more time than the other.
I want to see more people upset that they weren't naked in front of Claire and Chris Harrison on a dodgeball course.
Yeah. And with that said, I can't top those final thoughts. Chris Harrison, shouts to you, bro, for having to see dicks. And
just imagine how long that took to film. Like, it was not just 2 seconds of stripping and going.
No, it was probably 20 minutes where people were just like swinging past the knees,
jiggling around.
Yep, you'll love to see it. But you know what else you'll love to see, Laura? You'll love to see it when people rate and review this pod on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
We do 5 stars, please and thanks.
Yes, please and thanks. Follow our Instagrams, Logan Lewis 96, Binging Batch Podcast. Laura, plug yourself as well.
I am Meinert LA on both. That is my last name, which I realized that I've yet to spell it for anyone the last couple episodes. It is MEINERTLA.
You also do a little bit of writing.
I do.
For the Bachelor universe. You want to plug that too?
Yes. So the website for that is Accept This Rose. It is part of the Fan-Sided Network, which they have spinoffs for literally everything, sports, other entertainment junk. Right now, this season, I'm doing power rankings, and those come out every Thursday. So check that out on Accept This Rose.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And again, if you would like to watch us and our facial expressions on YouTube, you can at the Watchdog Media YouTube channel. It's another option. Or if you want to run it back and listen again, you can on YouTube.
Do it. Run it back all the times.
Absolutely. Guys, we'll see you next week for episode 4 of Binging Batch. Thanks, Laura. See you guys.
See ya.